So good morning, dear students. Am I audible and is my screen visible?
Yes,
Somebody?
sir.
Yeah, thank you, Jayant. Okay, today we'll discuss on the previously done concepts. Today's revision for your upcoming internals. Okay, normally during internal time, one very important thing that you have to do is you have to go through the notes. I think you have to read through from module 2 and module 3 completely, because some concepts of module 2, the beginning, may appear in the internal. So when we talk about module 2, initially we had discussed about Boolean type. Boolean type is again a data type in Python. Boolean operators, not operator, we discussed, and operator, how exactly it works, or operator. So, and operator and or operator, they are very important, and they works on Boolean values. That's why they are called Boolean operators. They are also used for building the expressions. You can see, you can certainly have B1 as false, B2 as false. So false and not false, or you can also write like this, building expressions also you can build, and you can certainly get the things. Relational operators next. The operators that generally works on Boolean values are relational operators, and of course these operators starts with greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, equal to, not equal to. So all these operators certainly you can use. All relational operators are binary operators. That's one very important thing that you should note. Why they are called binary operators? Because they return binary value, either true or false. So that is the reason they are also called as binary operators. And you can see various examples that I have already given. And you can certainly say whether the value is positive or not. You can write a method, you can write a function, and you can check. You can return the value based on the comparative result. You can do like this. Combining comparisons, very combining operators. We have to follow 3 rules. This is very important. Every question paper you open, in every question paper, this concept is there. This concept is most common. Okay, and you can see rule 1. Arithmetic operators have higher precedence than relational operator. This is the first rule. And after telling this rule, you have to write an example. So if you write like this, 1 plus 3 greater than 7. So what happens? Initially 1 plus 3 will be executed first, and later greater than 7 will be executed later. So this is the meaning of this. So after writing the rule, I expect everybody to give the example for that rule. Second one, relational operators have higher precedence than Boolean operators. Yes. So here also same. You have to take example. So first, the relational operators will execute, then the Boolean operator and is going to execute. So this is rule 3. All relational operators have the same precedence. Remember, when it comes to the relational operators, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, equal to, not equal to, all operators have the same precedence. So that you can certainly check. Give one example. So that's how it works. And using numbers and Boolean, using numbers and strings with Boolean. You can also write not of 0. 0 means it's a false value. Not of 0 is true. Not of 1, anything other than 0 is a true value. So not of any value is actually a false. Even negative number is also having the true value. It's a representation of true value. So we have discussed this. Short circuit evaluation, very, very important. Again, this short circuit evaluation is asked in every question paper, previous year question papers we can have. So look at here. When Python evaluates expression containing and or operator, and operator or operator. So it will execute the left part, and sometimes it will execute. It may not execute the right part of the execution. So example, if you take, look at here, or operator. 2 less than 3 is actually true. True OR with anything, either it may be a true or false or anything. True OR with anything, this side, anything, it may be a false, it may be a true. So anything, it will return a true. So that's why what happens, this will not be executed. Just to check that 1 divided by 0, if you give, it gives an error. That error value, put it here, it will not be executed because it is executing only the first part, and based on the short circuit evaluation, it will give that result. It will never execute the second part. Okay, so that is the proof that it is a short cut operator. And comparing the strings. So string comparison, A and Z, A and A. It is comparison. When you take a string comparison, ASCII value will come into play. Capital A is having 65 as the ASCII value, small a 97. So definitely 65 is less than 97. It is saying true. The same way, you can check these examples. If you have ABC and you have ABCD, yes, D is having more so than the empty string. So definitely it is a true. It's just like ABC, ABD. AB is common, C is less than D, it will take. Yes, C is less than D. The ASCII value of C is less than D. Yes, that is true. Just like that. And in operator also we'll check whether this particular string is present inside or not. So this is called membership operator. In is a membership operator. We discussed this, same thing. Next, if condition, we have discussed if else, just these are all we have already discussed. If block and else block, and if else if block also we discussed. And remember, this is the one which I have given assignment, and most of you have solved this. So BMI, very, very important. If BMI is less than 22 and age is less than 45, heart attack rate is low. If it is more than 45 age, and even though it is less than 22, he has medium heart attack risk is medium. If he is greater than 22 and less than 45, medium. Greater than or equal to 45 and greater than 22, then it is high. The same thing, we are doing it with the if else nested if statement. This is an example of nested if statement. So, I have already solved this. I think most of you have solved also in your own way. So I have solved the other way. Age is equal to this way. I'll store the variable. I'll store the result of this variable, and I'm checking. I'm checking. See, you can see like a normal language. I'm checking. If you are young and slim, risk is low. If you're young and not slim, your risk is medium. If you're not young and slim, medium. If you're not young, if you're not slim, risk is very high. So, general way of writing. This is a program. This is how. And modular approach, we discussed about what is module, how to import module, what happens when you import. What are the two ways of importing? One is import directly, and second one is from import. Which one is beneficial? From import, because it will import only particular method or particular variable. So from import is more beneficial. Just imports everything. Okay, that's the thing. And if you want to see what are all the built-in variables available, you can write dir underscore built-ins. You can certainly write the same thing. Defining, you can also define your own modules. I have explained, I have given a lot of examples, and you have created your own example also. And what happens during import? When you import, the program will execute only once. But if you want to refresh the program, so what you have to do, imp.reload. Reload, if you do, what happens? It will load it again. Okay, so that is the thing. Testing code, doc test. So before that, we have to understand what is a doc string. Doc string is a string that is written as a comment just after the function signature. See, this acts like a helping string as soon as you give help. So whenever you give help, you can see help temperature, the same information, whatever you have given here, inside the comment that will be displayed. This I think we know very well. Inside this doc string, you write test cases. And these test cases, certainly you can use doc test -v to check, to verify whether these values will work fine or not. So I have explained this many times. So this is again very important component. Doc test, you can do it with external documentation also. Yes, it can be done through. Now, Python numbers, you can create number, you can delete number, and there are various types of numbers: integer, long, float, and complex numbers. Complex has two components, the real and imaginary. We have discussed various functions on math function, ABS function, seal function, EMP function, EMP function. These are all methods that are available in math. Of course, they ask write any 5, write any 4 methods of math module, certainly. Command line arguments. How to handle this also I have explained. Given assignment also you have solved, you have worked. So that's about module 2. Coming on to module 3, it's all about storing data using list. The syllabus talks about storing data, and and finally loops you have. Storing data. See, if you give data like this, data can be represented, stored in a square bracket. You can see it, they can be stored in a square bracket like this. And memory representation, each element of the list will get separate memory, and it is allocated, and the same memory is representing. So they may give memory like this. They may ask you to create a list and write the memory of it. So you can certainly write the memory of it, and accessing them is by index numbers. So here index number, will also have negative index, and also you have double index, that is slicing operation can also be done. You can create an empty list by just opening and closing the square brackets. And lists are heterogeneous. That means you can store not the same value but different values. And during this explanation of this particular concept, I also explained how arrays are created. What is the advantage of having arrays? Arrays will have only a single data type, but lists can have multiple data types. So multiple data you can store. In this example itself, Krypton, you have numbers, you have strings stored. Modifying is very simple. So you can certainly by using index number, you can just reassign. Once you reassign, what happens? It will create another new memory and it will be assigned there. Okay, in that position. Various operations, len operation you can perform, math, min, sum, sorted you can do, and I have already said list is also having its own built-in function. These are all uh, these are all the functions. One second, please be hold on 1 second. Sorry, dear students, it was a call from university I had to take. Sorry. And I was just talking about the functions. These are all built-in functions. Apart from this, you also have the list function, list methods. Okay. And this is deletion of the various elements, operators, times operator you can use. You can delete particular element, you can do operations on lists, you can certainly input and you can check whether it is present or not. You can do whether the gas is present inside the noble, where gas is a single element. Nobles have various noble gases, and you check. You can also do in operator, you can use slicing of list, slicing in the sense extracting a few components from the list. So that is what we see here. Okay. And yeah, thank you, Chandrasekhar. Yeah, I was just talking about string slicing. You can do string slicing along with the default values. Default value for the starting is always 0. The ending index will be always the length of the list. Okay, that is we can see. Apart from list built-in functions, you also have list methods. List methods that runs on list. So based on this, I have given an example on this one also. Okay, like you have to create a list called scores, and you have to insert an element in the beginning, insert an element in between, insert an element at the end. So I have given, and you had the same way delete the first element, delete the last element, delete the in between element. You have to clear the entire list. So you can do it without using list methods and with list methods. I think most of you have done this assignment. I think probably, yeah. Yeah, most of the students are very curious about predicting what are the important questions. Definitely we'll talk. Today we have still time. Okay, I'll complete this module and I'll discuss that also. Yeah. Yeah, list methods. These are all list methods. Append to add, clear to clear, count. Extend will extend more elements. And index method and remove, pop, all these things certainly are associated with the list. So they are called list methods. Functions will not be associated with any data type. For example, len. Len works on string also, len works on list also, len works on dictionary also. For every data type, it is supported. So len is actually a function, built-in function. It's not associated with something. So here, remove, pop, insert, they are associated with list. So they are list methods. So that you should know the difference between method and methods and functions. Okay. So reverse and sort. Yes. See, sort and sorted. Earlier you have seen sorted. See, sorted here. Somewhere it was here. Many question papers are asking about the difference between sorted. Observe here, sorted is a built-in function. For this function, list is passed as an argument. This is very important. What it will do, it will return a copy of a list where the L is a list of items and it will arrange from smaller to larger. Okay, that is the thing. Whereas in the case of sort is actually a list method. It's a list method. List method, which sorts the values in descending order. Descending order. There it is ascending order. Here it is descending order. For strings with the small same letter case, sorts the reverse alphabetical order. Automatically it sorts. Sorted and sort. Sorted is a built-in. Sort is actually a method. And how exactly they work? Give one example. How they were, here observe, it is not taking sort function. Sort method is not taking any argument, and it is very. And lists of lists. Lists are heterogeneous. You can create a list of lists. So you can write like this: Canada this, United States like this, Mexico this. You can write. You can represent. This is list of lists, memory representation. So this is very important to represent, and in many question papers they have asked this. And how to access? You can certainly use Canada of life of 0 means it will give entire thing. I want life of 0 comma 0. If you say 0 comma 0, it is Canada. It's just like that. 0 comma, look at here, same 1 comma 0, 1 comma 1. It is just like this. You can access and you can modify also. List comprehension, I have been telling, it's very important what is list comprehension, and you have to talk about list comprehension very well. Okay, and you should know how exactly it works. And after this, looping for the variable inside the list. You cannot. Looping can be done directly with the list, directly with the string, or directly with the sequence where you have range function. Range function will create a sequence of numbers and it will loop accordingly. So for in, and it is running in a block. So for loop, you should know very well, and for in with the string, string. So until it has characters, it will keep on looping, and you can check. Looping over a range of numbers, so generating range, so range function, you can write range function. So range function will create range of numbers. The same thing, if you put across a list, it will create a list of ranging numbers from 0 to 5 or 1 to 5. So same way you can do the same thing. Processing the list using indexing. So you can not only process, access the list elements directly, but you can also process the list by using index numbers. So index numbers are nothing but, see, value of I, value of I, value of I into 2. So you create a range of numbers from 0 to the length -1, and every time 0, if our I value will be changed from 0 to the length -1. So automatically you are multiplying values of I into 2. So values of I is nothing but 0. Next iteration 1, next 2, next 3, next 4, next 5. So like this, it will change all the elements, and you can access, you can modify. Very, very important. Processing parallel lists using indexes. See, the advantage of looping the list over index, accessing the list over index, is you can process the lists parallelly. If you have two lists and I want to process the elements simultaneously, then it is possible. Look at here, metal and whites, Li 6.9, Na 22.98, K it is 39.09. If I want to display them, for I in range, the length of metals is 3. So 0, 1, 2. I will change from 0. When I is 0, you display metal and its weight. So what happens? First element is printed. When I changes to next one, Na is displayed and 22.98 is also displayed. See, simultaneously you are processing two lists at a time, parallelly processing. That is possible using indexes, using index. Nesting of loops, yes, one loop within another loop you can certainly write in order to do it. Looping over nested lists, yes, you have list of lists, certainly you can have nested elements, you can certainly loop it like this. You can have a list looping like this, or you can certainly display nested for loops to display each and every element. Ragged list, the list which is not in proper length. See, look at here, Isaac Newton 1, 2, 3. See, this is 1, 2, 3. Whereas Alan Turing 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. I'm sorry. It is having 4 elements. 4 elements are there. So one list item is item number 0 and 1. They are having 3 elements. Item 2 is having 4 elements. So you should be very understanding. If the length of inner lists or list of lists are not same, then they are called ragged list. And another example, BTS bus timing. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the first list. Second list 1, 2, 3, 4. For the another one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is just like. For the next one, it is 1, 2, 3. So there are different lengths of lists that are present inside another list. So that is, we call it as ragged list. And looping until the condition is reached, while loop you can certainly have. And apart from this, you also have the if-else statement inside the looping statement, you can certainly have. Controlling the looping statements, you can have break. So when you have break, automatically what happens? The execution stops and the loop stops and it will come out of the loop. Break. Continue, it will stop the execution of the loop and it will continue for the next iteration. That is continue. So that's about, and very important, if a statement we have seen else. For loops, also we can have else block. Very, very important. See, look at here. While is having else block. See, it will execute everything. If it is true, what happens? The loop is keep on executing. Once the condition becomes false, it will execute the else part. It will execute the else part. So, else part is going to execute only at the end when the condition is false. Suppose in between, if you put a break, the else part will not execute at all. So, we have taken one example of generating Fibonacci numbers between range 10 to 20. Yes, I want to print Fibonacci, prime numbers from 10 to 20. So, outer loop is just giving the number, and that number you are checking with the division. If it is divides, it will break. If it doesn't divide, it will go until the last, so and it will display in the else part the number is prime. So you can see. So 10 is not prime, 11 is prime, 12 is not prime, 13 is a prime. It's just like that. Similarly, 14 is a prime, it's not a prime, 15 not a prime, 16 not a prime, 17, yes, it is a prime, 18, it is not a prime, 19, yes, it is a prime. So it is just like that. It will check and it will display. So this is about, and for every module I have, at the end I have given the question bank. Kindly prepare yourself for this question bank. Okay. Question bank and try to get answers for all those things. So based on this only, I have referred to some previous year question papers and I have prepared some questions. What will be the output of this? Somebody can type the answer in the chat box. What will be the output of this? The list is equal to something HE, yeah, error, correct. Because BE is a what? It's a string. String and list you cannot combine. List and list you can add. Okay, this will generate an error. Yes, correct. I will execute the same thing. See, first one. If I run this, it will throw an error because list and the string cannot be joined together. List and string cannot be joined together. See, I'm just running. It is about to display error. It is about to display error. Okay, let us look into the next one. What will be the next one doing? So you are having a list of two elements. *3. What happens? It will repeat that list 3 times. Okay. So this is giving, the first one is giving error because list is not going to be added. Sorry, list is not going to be added to the string. Instead, you also convert the string into a list. List plus list is another list. So now it works. Yeah, it will add the element BE to the list. Now, the second example. Second example is this one. List is having 2 elements and those 2 elements are multiplied by 3. Yes, if you run this, so you can see it is being repeated. It's a times operator. It is repeated. Similarly, what will be the output of this? Somebody please analyze and respond. What will be the output of this code? What do you mean by D is equal to curly braces? What is S is equal to set, open bracket, close bracket? You are creating an empty dictionary and you are creating empty set. After that, you are just displaying what is the type. So this is a dictionary and this is a set. That's all, very simple. And what about this? What is that here it is doing? You are creating n value as 3, m value as 4. And you are creating a comprehension for loop inside another for loop. And you are creating 0. That means it creates a matrix of 3 cross 3, all 0. It's a null matrix of all elements 0. Yes, it is creating. See, one row, second row, third row, fourth row. Yes, it is showing. And in most of the question papers, these questions are very common. What is a list? Explain the general format of creating a list. What is max function, min function do along with the heterogeneous function, and explain max and min functions. Rules for combining the operators, 3 rules I have already said. Short circuit operator, I've told how short circuit happens with the R, how short circuit happens with AND. You have to explain. With the knee diagram, write the memory object of list of lists. Yes, you take a list of lists, any list of lists, and you can represent. So it's better you give your own examples and create the diagram, memory representing. What is list comprehension? You can give example. Yes. Any 4 methods of math module. Any 4 methods which you know. Looping over list and looping over string with necessary examples. You can certainly give. And later we have asked about parallel processing of lists using index. So to lists, how they are parallelly processed. Certainly you can give it sufficient. Elaborate the working of break and continue statement. What is ragged list and explain. What is the difference between sorted and sort? And apart from this, these are all some of the programs asked in the examination question papers. So adding of 2 matrix, transposing of matrix, and matrix operations, simple operations. So you can certainly print. And print the multiplication table between numbers 1 to n. This is also I have asked in one of the assignment, and you have solved. And give the Python code to read a number from the command line arguments and sum them. So you have to read the command line arguments and you have to calculate the total sum. Generate the Fibonacci series. So you pass n. So that means it has to generate Fibonacci numbers up to n. Print all prime numbers between the range 10 to 50. So you read numbers, each number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You check whether this number is prime or not. This number is prime or not, the selected number, and display. And keep on continuing for all the numbers between 10 to 50. So hope these are all some of the important questions that are being asked in university examination. Okay. I have come to the end of the class. Before I conclude today's class, if anybody has any doubt, okay, you can either type it in the chat box, or you can straight away you can unmute yourself and you can ask. I'm open for questions. Okay. If nothing is there, you can type in your USN in the chat box for attendance sake. Stay safe and healthy. All class recordings are available in this particular website. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Yeah.